Of all the places to build a futuristic city for 28 million visitors, engineers chose a man-made island in Osaka Bay built from decades of garbage and construction debris. This 155-hectare patch of land was so soft and unstable, a major earthquake could turn the ground to liquid in seconds. On this shaky foundation, they decided to construct the largest wooden building in human history, a colossal ring with a circumference of 2 kilometers. The entire $1.6 billion project had to be built on a site that fundamentally should not exist. So, how did they pull it off? And what secrets are hidden beneath this city of the future? Before it was a stage for the world, the island of Yumeshima, or Dream Island, was a nightmare for city planners. The project began in the 1970s, not as a grand vision, but as a practical solution for a growing city's waste problem. For decades, trucks dumped gravel, sand, and leftover materials from other construction sites into Osaka Bay, slowly building up 390 hectares of new land. For years, it was just a massive container port, a functional but forgotten piece of the city. This history created a massive engineering problem. The island was made of loose, unpacked material soaked with seawater. It was a ticking time bomb in one of the most seismically active countries on Earth. Building anything heavy here was a huge risk. But Osaka saw an opportunity. By winning the bid for Expo 2025, they could force the transformation of this forgotten landfill into a landmark, using a global event to fast-track the island's development and solve a decades-old problem. But first, they had to tame the very ground the Expo would stand on. You can't build a city on what is essentially wet sand and garbage, especially not in Japan. The biggest danger was soil liquefaction, a terrifying event where the ground loses all its strength during an earthquake and behaves like a liquid. To prevent the entire Expo from sinking into the bay, engineers launched a massive, invisible war underground. Their first move was to lay down a 1.5-meter thick layer of sea sand across the seabed. This sand blanket acted like a giant sponge, creating a stable base and helping to drain water from the deep layers of clay below. Next, to squeeze the water out of the deep mud, they used a technique called the sand drain method. This involved driving millions of vertical columns of sand deep into the ground. These columns acted like millions of giant straws, giving the trapped water a path to escape as the weight of the new land pressed down, speeding up a process that would naturally take decades. To fight the liquefaction risk in the upper layers, they used the sand compaction pile method. A huge vibrating probe was plunged into the ground, shaking the loose sand and packing it together tightly, making it much denser and stronger. For the areas that needed to support the heaviest structures, they used deep soil mixing. This is like using a giant egg beater to mix cement directly into the soft soil deep underground, creating a grid of super strong columns that form a solid foundation. Finally, the entire site was raised more than 5 meters above sea level, creating a safe zone in case of a tsunami. With the ground finally secured, they could start building the Expo's unbelievable centerpiece. At the heart of the Expo is a structure that defies belief, the Grand Ring. It is officially the largest wooden building in the world. Its numbers are staggering. The ring has a circumference of 2 kilometers, which is roughly the entire perimeter of the nation of Monaco. It stands up to 20 meters tall, like a 6-story building, and covers an area of over 60,000 square meters, bigger than 6 international rugby fields. This colossal structure encircles the entire site, connecting the pavilions of over 150 countries and acting as the main walkway, shielding visitors from the sun and rain. The true genius of the Grand Ring is how it was built. Engineers looked back 1,000 years to the techniques used to build Japan's ancient temples, like the famous Kiyomizu-dera in Kyoto. The entire structure is assembled using a traditional joinery method called nuki, where horizontal wooden beams are slotted through holes in vertical posts. This means the main structure is put together without nails or screws. This ancient technique is perfect for earthquakes. Instead of being rigid, the joints have a tiny bit of flexibility, allowing the whole structure to sway and absorb the energy of a quake without breaking. Of course, this ancient wisdom was combined with modern technology. While the main connections are nail-free, metal reinforcements are hidden inside to meet modern safety standards. The wood itself is a high-tech product called glulam, where smaller pieces of timber are glued together to create massive, incredibly strong beams. About 70% of the wood is local Japanese cedar and cypress, supporting local industries and reducing the carbon footprint of the project. This incredible ring is more than just a building. It's a statement about how ancient knowledge and new technology can create a more sustainable future. But what's inside the ring is just as revolutionary. The Expo was designed as a living laboratory, a place to test the technologies that will build the cities of tomorrow. Many of the pavilions were built with a radical idea in mind. They are designed to be taken apart and disappear without a trace. This concept is called design for disassembly. The Netherlands Pavilion is a prime example. It was conceived as a temporary collection of materials, not a permanent building. Every single part, from steel beams to wall panels, is logged in a digital material passport. This digital list records exactly what each piece is made of. So after the Expo, the entire building can be taken apart and its components can be easily reused in other projects. The Luxembourg Pavilion follows the same idea. Its foundations are made of huge concrete blocks that can be picked up and moved, not poured into the ground. Its steel frame is bolted together, not welded, so it can be unbolted and used again. Other pavilions are turning waste into a resource. The Japan Pavilion has its own biogas plant on site. It takes food waste from all the restaurants at the Expo and through a process called fermentation, turns it into biogas to generate electricity that helps power the pavilion. The UAE Pavilion is showcasing an amazing new material called datecrete, a type of concrete made from crushed date seeds, a waste product from the country's huge date industry. Even the Singapore Pavilion is covered in 17,000 aluminum discs made from 70% recycled materials. The soft ground of Yumeshima also forced incredible innovation in lightweight construction. The Blue Ocean Dome, designed by famous architect Shigeru Bon, is a masterpiece of this idea. It's made of 3 connected domes, each from a different futuristic material. One from laminated bamboo, another from his signature recycled cardboard tubes, and the largest one from carbon fiber reinforced plastic, or CFRP. This CFRP material is 5 times lighter than steel, but just as strong. The structure is so light that it didn't need any deep concrete foundations at all, solving the problem of building on the island's weak ground. Building a dream on a garbage island doesn't come cheap, and the project has faced serious challenges. The initial budget for construction has nearly doubled, ballooning to over $1.6 billion. These rising costs are shared between the national government, the city of Osaka, and local businesses, but have led to criticism that it's a waste of public money. The project has also been hit by major construction delays, worsened by a nationwide shortage of skilled labor in Japan. At one point, many of the international pavilions were months behind schedule, with some countries struggling to even find a construction company, sparking fears that parts of the Expo wouldn't be ready for opening day. Despite these hurdles, and some public skepticism about the cost and necessity of the event, organizers pushed forward, determined to open on time. From a landfill island that could turn to liquid, to a temporary city showcasing the future of construction, Expo 2025 is an engineering marvel born from a series of impossible challenges. The centerpiece, the Grand Ring, was designed to be taken apart after the Expo ends. But, just like the Eiffel Tower, which was also built for a World's Fair and meant to be temporary, there are now talks of keeping it as a permanent landmark for Osaka. It stands as a symbol of unity, a fusion of ancient tradition and modern technology, and a blueprint for a more sustainable way of building. If you enjoyed this look into one of the world's most ambitious engineering projects, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. Let us know in the comments what mega project you want to see next.